Saki! Welcome to part 3 of this lesson.
パート1とパート2をまだ見てない人は、この動画を見る前にぜひ見てね。
So in the previous lesson, I asked you and you to simplify this sentence. Saki doesn't speak German and Alan doesn't speak German. Of course, you can say Saki and Alan don't speak German, but like with the previous examples, please keep the two clauses. Anyway, what's your answer?
Saki doesn't speak German and Alan doesn't either. でも、こうも言えるよ。Saki doesn't speak German and neither does Alan.
Perfect. Yeah, this is our topic, avoiding repetition in English. Because sometimes repeating the same words 2 times or more in the same sentence sounds weird, right?
確かに同じ文の中で同じ言葉を2回以上繰り返すのはちょっと変だよね。日本語でもくどい感じがするから、言い換えたりとか省略したりするもんね。
Anyway, I'm going to teach you one more specific way to help avoid repeating yourself.
もう繰り返しを避けるための具体的な例を教えてくれるの？じゃあ教えてアランさん。
First of all, try to make this sentence better. I promised my wife that I would lose 20 pounds, but I have failed to lose 20 pounds.
20 pounds? 20ポンド ?20 ポンドってキロにするとどれくらい？
I think it's about 9 or 10 kilograms. I promised my wife that I would lose 9 kilograms, but I have failed to lose 9 kilograms.
I promised my wife that I would lose 9 kilograms, but I have failed to do that. どう？これでいい？
That's great, Saki. I have failed to do that. I have failed to do that action. However, instead of saying the word that, there's another way to say it.
他にも言い方あるの？教えて。
I promised my wife that I would lose 9 kilograms, but I have failed to do so.
I have failed to do so?
You can say you instead of I.
You have failed to do so. You promised your wife that you would lose 9 kilograms, but you have failed to do so.
Yeah, to do so is a simple phrase to avoid repeating the same action. For example, she wanted to finish her work early but was unable to do so. Of course, you can also say she wanted to finish her work early but was unable to, but do so gives you another option. And even if you don't use it, you might hear it.
なるほど。to do so は繰り返しを避けるためのシンプルなフレーズなのね。じゃあ、例えば、I have been studying English and will continue to do so.
Great. It's also used in warnings if there's a consequence. For example, when you're driving, you have to stay below the speed limit. Not doing so may result in a speeding ticket. You can also say failure to do so may result in a speeding ticket.
確かに運転中に制限速度を守らないとスピード違反の切符を切られるかもしれないもんね。Failure to do so.
Failure to do so. That's a phrase you might hear in some warnings. Anyway, I think we accomplished a lot in these last 3 lessons. Let's do more video lessons.
もっとビデオを作った方がいいと思う。Doing so would help everyone's English. Failure to do so would... ジャングリッシュのビデオを作らなくても別に悪いこと起こらないと思うよ。
I don't know. Would you miss us? Would we be missed?